Hello children, let's come back to our maths class. Let us have a small recap of what we have done in the previous classes. So what we have done in the previous class children? Yes, we have done some problems from exercise 4.2 which were based on the basic proportionality theorem or Thales theorem. Yes, so we have used the theorem and we just applied the theorem and we have solved some of the sums from exercise 4.2 and we have completed almost 7 sums from exercise 4.2 and from 8, okay, that is from 8 onwards you have to use another theorem which is called as angle bisector theorem. So before we continue with sum number 8, we are going to learn about the theorem. Okay children, so what are we going to do first today? We are going to study the theorem. We are going to see how is the theorem derived or what is there in the theorem, and after getting the theorem we are going to continue with sum number 8. So today we are going to learn about angle bisector theorem. Children, take down your classwork. Take down your classwork. Write down today's date. Give the heading as angle bisector theorem. It's in page 170. You can just refer page 170 from your maths textbook. Have you taken your classwork, children? Have you written today's date? Okay. Now let's start with the work. You are going to do the sums or you are going to do the theorems along with me. So we are just going to do the theorems part by part. Okay, like step by step. Let's go for the theorem. Write on the heading of the theorem first of all. Give the heading angle bisector theorem. Write neatly, children. So this is the name of the theorem. Okay, so I think this is the third theorem. We have already studied about the Thales theorem and also the converse of Thales theorem. So two theorems we have done, and you have to study all the theorems. You may have a question on theorem and it will be for 5 marks. They may ask any one of the question. Okay children? So you have to be thorough with all the theorems from this lesson. We have a theorem only in lesson number 4. Okay children? So now have you taken down the name of the theorem? Are you ready? Okay. So now the next thing is we are going to write down the statement. So just this is a theorem. So just write down near the margin. Suppose you have a margin here. Just continue from here. The statement part. Write down the statement, children. The internal bisector of an angle of a triangle divides the opposite side internally in the ratio of the corresponding sides containing the angle. You have the statement there. I hope you are ready with your page 170. Just write on the statement properly, children. Just give the side heading as statement and you can just continue the statement from here. The theorem statement. The internal bisector of an angle of a triangle divides the opposite side internally in the ratio of the corresponding sides containing the angle. So this is the statement. So let's read the statement once again. What is the statement for angle bisector theorem? The statement is the internal bisector. So I'll be just explaining you the statement with the help of a figure. So if you just see the figure and if you just see the figure, you will come to know how is the statement applicable. Okay children? So first of all, let's write down what is the statement over here. So what is the statement given to you? The internal bisector of an angle of a triangle. So you're going to focus on the internal bisector of an angle of a triangle divides the opposite side. So what is the internal bisector doing? It is dividing the opposite side internally in the ratio of the corresponding sides containing the angle. So when you just read the statement, you will be not be clear with it. I just can guess, I can just sense that you people are not clear with the statement. Okay, so now have you completed the statement? Just write on the statement, and now you're going to draw the figure. Use your scale and pencil for drawing the figure, children. Just let's go with the figure next. So after statement, the next thing is to draw the figure. So first of all, draw a triangle ABC. Draw a triangle ABC. A, B, C. Draw a triangle A, B, C. Okay. So now what you have to do is, in this triangle ABC, we have some construction part. Okay, children. So let us complete the construction part also. What are you going to do is, you are going to draw a parallel line to AB. So now this is AB. So you are going to draw a parallel line. You know what is the meaning of parallel line? That is, the line should never meet each other. So just draw a parallel line to AB this way. Just use a dotted line. So this is AB, and you're going to draw a line which is parallel to AB. Just draw, you can just use a dotted line because this is a construction. Here only the thing is, we have a triangle, but with the help of a triangle we cannot prove the theorem. So what we are doing? We are doing some extra construction. So the extra construction will be done with the help of a dotted lines. So drawing a parallel line to AB. And now what you have to do is, now here they are saying about the internal bisector. Now what is the meaning of bisector? Bisector means dividing the angle into two equal parts. So here we are going to choose the angle A. So first of all, you just bisect this angle. And now you are going to extend this line, and you have to join these two lines. Be draw neatly, children, the figure. I just name this as E, and I'll take this part as D. First of all, complete the figure properly. First of all, you have to draw a triangle ABC, and this is the internal bisector. AD is the internal bisector of the angle. And now what you are going to do here? You are going to draw a parallel line CE. Okay, this AB is parallel to CE. Parallel means it will go like this, like a track. Okay, railway track. They will never meet each other. So you have to draw a parallel line. And now what you are going to do is, you are going to extend. Extend means what? You are just going to pull. What are you going to, which segment are you going to pull? You are going to pull AD such that it meets at E. So where was AD? This was the line segment AD. But now what are you going to do? You are going to stretch, or you are going to extend AD such that it meets at E. Complete the figure, children. Very simple figure. First of all, a triangle A, B, C. Then you have to draw the internal bisector. After this, you have to draw parallel line. This is a parallel line. After completing the parallel line, you are going to extend this line. So you are just going to extend this line, and you are going to give this name here E and D. So try to draw properly so that the triangle should look almost the same. This side and this side should look same. So try to draw in such a manner. Okay, take the finger. Draw neatly the figure with a pencil and a scale. Use a pencil and a scale to draw the figure, children. Okay, have you taken down the figure? Let's go for the next part. What is the next part given there? Proof. So write down here the heading as proof. So we have written the name of the theorem. We have written the statement. I'll explain to you what is the statement. Just write on the statement. Draw the figure. So we have drawn a triangle ABC and we have done some construction over here. Construction is the extra figure that we attach to a given triangle. So only ABC was given. So what is the extra thing here? We have constructed a parallel line and also we have extended AD to E. That is, we have pulled AD such that it meets at E. Okay. Now let's come to the proof part. Under proof part, you are going to write down what is given first. What is given to you, children? So, what is given? In given part, you have the internal bisector of an angle of a triangle divides the opposite sides. Okay. So, this is what is the internal bisector here. Now, this is a triangle. You see here, ABC is a triangle. The internal bisector. Now, you have a internal bisector. What is the meaning of internal? Inside the triangle. This side, that is this line or this segment AD divides the triangle in which angle? In angle A. That means this measure and this measure is going to be same. What will be the measure here? They have taken the measure as 1. So if this is 1, this is also 1 because it is internally bisected. So AD is the internal bisector. So this side and this side will be equal. This here. So you have BAD and CAD to be equal. You will have the same value. BAD and CAD will be equal. Because AD is the internal bisector. So when you have, I'll just explain to you. Suppose if you have an angle of 60 degree. Okay, you have drawn an angle of 60 degree and you're just doing you have an internal bisector for it. That means this will be 30 degree and this will be 30 degree. Bisecting means dividing the angle into two equal parts. Okay. So what is given to you first of all? Write down the given part, children. In triangle ABC, AD is the internal bisector. So this is what is given to you. AD is the internal bisector. Okay. See, the internal bisector of an angle of a triangle. So I know something about an internal bisector. What is that? AD is the internal bisector in triangle ABC. Okay, now what are you going to prove? To prove. What are we going to prove here? Shall we read the statement once again? Let us read the statement. The internal bisector of an angle of a triangle divides the opposite side. Which is the opposite side? Now, I am not talking about the construction part. I am just talking about a triangle. So, what is the opposite side? Now, this is AD. And where is this AD dividing? See, the internal bisector divides the opposite side. So, which is the opposite side, children? BC is the opposite side. So, this is going to divide the opposite side internally in the ratio of the corresponding sides containing the angle. Do not get confused. I know that you people are just blinking your eyes over there. Listen here carefully. The internal bisector of a triangle. So, what is the internal bisector over here? AD is the internal bisector. Now, what this internal bisector is doing? It is dividing the opposite side. So, what is the opposite side here? BC is the opposite side. So, it is going to divide the opposite side internally in the ratio. So, we are going to write down the division in the form of ratio. Okay, children? That is, we have two parts. Okay. So, when the internal bisector divides this opposite side, you get two parts. That is BD and CD. So, you are going to write down in the form of ratio. You know the meaning of ratio? Like you can write down 3:4 means what? 3/4. So, we are going to write down in the form of a fraction. Okay. Now, in the ratio of the corresponding sides containing the angle. Now, what is the corresponding side? You see here. Now, this is the angle. Okay. So, this is the angle. So, what are the sides containing the angle? Which is the side containing the angle? So, where are the sides? So, this is the angle. So, these are the sides containing the angle. AC is the side containing the angle A and AB is the side containing the angle A. So, which side are you going to focus? We have AB, then BC and CA. We have three sides for a triangle, but here they are talking about the sides containing the angle. And what we have shown that AD is the angle bisector. That means which angle is being bisected? Angle A is bisected. So what are the sides containing angle A? AC is the side and also AB is the side. Okay, so you should not take BC because in BC you don't have any angle. Okay, so you have an angle in A. This angle A is bisected. So what are the sides containing the angle? It is AC and AB. Are you clear, children? Okay, so let us write on the two proof part here. So this is AB. I'll just take the sides containing the angle. AB, okay, one side. What is the next side? AC. AB upon AC is equal to. We have to take the opposite side. So what is the opposite side here? Yes, BD and CD. Right now this is equal to BD upon CD. Right on the two proof part. Okay, have you taken the two proof part, children? Okay, now understand the statement carefully. So the internal bisector of an angle of a triangle. So here we have three angle for a triangle. That is, we have just taken in triangle ABC, but you have just chosen one angle. What is the angle chosen here, children? A is the angle chosen. Okay. So now what is done here? We have to take the internal bisector. Internal bisector means the bisector is dividing internally. Okay. So you have an internal bisector which divides the opposite side. So this is A. What is the opposite side of A? BC. So this internal bisector divides the opposite side internally in the ratio. Okay, so it is dividing these two sides in the ratio of the corresponding sides containing the angle. Along with this, you have to take the corresponding sides containing the angle. So what do you get for the proof part? You have to prove that AB upon AC is equal to BD upon CD. That is AB upon AC, BD upon CD. So these are the sides containing the angle A and these are the opposite sides. That is BD and CD. Do not take CD upon BD, children. Be careful. You have taken from here AB and AC. So start from BD upon CD. That's what you go for the proof part. That is what we have to prove. Okay, now let's write on the next part, construction. So I have told you that we are doing some extra work in the figure. What is the extra work over here? We have drawn CE parallel to AB. That was the first thing, yes? So write down, draw a line C parallel to AB. You can just put here CE, no problem. Right. Draw a line CE parallel to AB. Okay, so we are drawing CE parallel to AB. And one more thing we did. What was the thing that we did? This is the first construction and I told you that we are going to extend AD such that it meets at E. Extend AD. Extend. This is first one and this is second one. Extend AD to meet AD to meet line through C at E. Around the construction part. So we have written first step, that is the statement part. Then we have done the figure part. Then we have written the proof part. Under proof part, we have written what was given and what to prove. And then we have taken the construction part. What is the construction, children? You are drawing a line CE parallel to AB. That's the first construction. And what is the second thing we are doing? We are going to extend AD to meet E through C. C means just it's a continuation CE. So extend AD to meet line through C at E. So these are the two constructions that we have to follow for a triangle ABC. Okay. Now given part is done, to prove part is done, construction part is done. Now let us go for the proof part. That is the main part. I'll just rub this over here. So write down. You have to draw the box over there. One is for number, then one is for statement, and one is for reason. Just draw the lines, children. One is for reason. Number, statement, reason. I just draw this figure here because I need the figure. A here, B, C, E, and I told you this angle A, we have an internal bisector. AD is the internal bisector, so this value and this value will be same. Just take it as 1, 1. Have we done? Shall we continue? Just draw the columns properly, children. Number, statement, and reason. And the first one, write on angle AEC is equal to angle BAE. Angle AEC is equal to angle BAE, and this angle is equal to 1. You can write down the reason here, alternate angles. Alternate angles formed by a transverse. So I'll tell you what is, the meaning of alternate angles. Yes, children, we have just seen in our lower classes about the different angles. Just see the angles carefully. A, E, C. Okay, this is A, E, C. Okay, this angle. You see here carefully. A, E, C. Okay, this is one angle. And you have to take B, A, E. B, A, E. Just see the shape, children. This is B, A, E. And then B, A, E. This is one. And one more what we had, A, E, C. So when you just take this angle, you just have a Z shape. And when you talk about a Z shape, that is alternate angles. What we know, they are alternate angles, and we know the angles are equal. So where is the angle form? Here. See the angle here? So now I have already got an angle over here as 1. So if this is 1, what will be the value over here? It will be 1 because they are alternate angles. They are forming a Z shape. So just write down the first statement. Angle AEC is equal to angle BAE. Both are equal. Why are they equal? Because they are the alternate angles formed by a transversal. Now, what is the meaning of transversal? Just see, the transversal is you have a parallel line. Yes, two parallel lines are there. What are the two parallel lines? CE and AB are parallel lines, and this is a line which joins these two parallel lines. That is, AE is a transversal. The line which joins two parallel line is called a transversal. Okay, children? So what is this AE here? AE is the transversal. What are the parallel lines? CE is a parallel line. AB is a parallel line. And what is the line that joins two parallel line? It's AE. So AE is the transversal. So when you have a transversal joining the parallel line, what you get? You get a alternate angle. Getting my point? And what about the alternate angles? They will be equal. Have you taken on the first statement? Is the first statement clear to you, children? So which two angles have we taken? BAE and AEC. So just put here number 1, children. You have to put here angle 1. So we have just filled here 1, 1. Yes. So write down here also 1. So that is the first statement. Or you can write on the same statement. It is given in the textbook. No problem. So let's go for the second one. Write down. So now let's talk about triangle ACE. Write down. Triangle ACE is isosceles. Triangle AC is isosceles. I'll tell you why it's called isosceles. And on the next second statement, triangle AC is isosceles. Now, just listen here carefully, children. From the first statement, we got that this angle, which angle? BAE and AEC, they are equal. That is, we have shown that they are alternate angles. So, alternate angles will be equal. They are forming a Z shape. Now, just listen to me carefully. Already, we have done this theorem. That is, we have seen an isosceles triangle theorem. Do you remember this theorem? Isosceles triangle theorem. What is the meaning of isosceles triangle theorem? Now just see here, we have a triangle, okay? If you have a triangle and if these two angles are equal, I'll just draw a little bigger over here so that you will be able to see. Suppose we have a triangle ABC, okay? I'm not talking about this triangle, just example for you. If you have a triangle ABC and if you know that angle B and angle C are equal, what is the thing given to you? Angle B and angle C are equal. That is, this is, okay, I just gave, this is 60 and this is 60. That is, if both the angles are equal, what you can say? We can say the side opposite to them are equal. That means BA and AC are equal. Getting my point? So this is from isosceles triangle theorem. Getting the point? So if the two angles are equal, the opposite sides to the angle will be equal. So what is the side opposite to this angle? AB. What is the side opposite to this angle? AC. So what you get here? You get AB is equal to AC by applying isosceles triangle theorem. So same manner, I'm just going to see this angle. Which triangle I'm going to see here? I'm just going to consider triangle ACE. Okay, children. Now just look at the figure carefully. In triangle ACE, this is a triangle ACE. Now here we have this angle as 1 and this angle is 1. This is 1, this is 1. So if you apply isosceles triangle, what happens? The side opposite to this angle. What is the side opposite to this angle? This here, children, this is E, yes? So what is opposite to this angle? I get AC. I get AC. And what is the side opposite to this angle? Yeah, it's CE. Getting my point? Yes. How are we going? What are we doing here? We are applying here isosceles triangle theorem. So just see here. I have angle 1 here. I have angle 1 here. So what we are going to do here? We are applying the isosceles triangle theorem. And I'm just going to take the side opposite to the angle. So for this angle 1, this is the side opposite. That is CE. And for this angle, what is the side opposite? It's AC. Getting the point? So which two sides are equal? Yes, write down here. AC is equal to, I just put here itself. So AC is equal to CE. Just write down the explanation which two angles were same. So which two angles were same? So in triangle ACE, so we have taken this triangle ACE and which two angles were same, children? AEC angle AEC is equal to CAE. And this was angle 1 alone. Yes, it was same. It was 1 only. You just put in a bracket isosceles triangle theorem. Isosceles triangle theorem. So number 2. So have you taken the second statement? What is the second statement? Triangle AC. So we have found in the first case we found that two angles were same. Which two angles were same? AEC and BE were same using alternate angles. And the second thing, using the isosceles triangle theorem, we found that AC is a isosceles triangle. Okay. Now let's go for the third one. Now for the third one, we are going to take two triangles over here. You are going to consider this triangle. What are the two triangles considered, children? A, B, D. See here, just see the order, children. A, B, D. I have told you that whenever you go for a similar triangle, you have to go for a proper direction. If you go for the proper direction, then only we can take the proportional sides. Otherwise, everything will go wrong. So here I am going to follow in this direction. Which direction I am going to take? A, B, D. And I am going to take one more triangle. I am going to take triangle ECD. You may ask, ma'am, we are traveling from here. So how to travel from that side? You see here, we have angle 1 here. So when I take this triangle, I have to start from angle 1. Do not get confused, children. Be careful. A, B, D. Okay. So how are you going to start now? It started from angle 1. It went to B and it stopped at D. Similarly, you're going to start from angle 1, go to C, and where it's going to come and stop? Yes, it's going to stop at D. So write down here, triangle ABD is similar to triangle ECD. So they have given here directly. So let us write directly. I'll explain to you how you get the similar thing. So what is being done here? We have found that triangle ABD is similar to triangle ACD. Now you may have a question how we found it directly. You see, observe these two triangles, children. ABD. Okay, this is ABD. And we are going to consider ECD. Just looking at the figure. Just look at the figure. Here we have angle 1. Here we have angle. So I'll just put here. In triangle ABD and triangle ECD. Okay. So what you can do first of all, which angles are same? Angle A and angle E are equal. Why are they equal? Because the measure is 1. Here also what is the measure? It's 1. So I can say angle A is equal to angle E. Done? Now, we have to show one more condition. Now just see the common angle. What is the common angle here? Yes, D is common. D is common. So I'll put angle D is equal to angle D. This is common. So I got two conditions. What are the two conditions I got? One is angle A is equal to angle E. Here they have not done the steps. They have just skipped the steps. They have done directly because you people can just look at the figure and you can have an idea. Okay, which are the things that is common over here, and you can find out the type of similarity. Okay, so no need to show for this part. I just want you people to take down this explanation in the rough part with the pencil so that you may have an idea why we write down this step. Okay, children? So in triangle ABD, so you know how to choose a triangle? Start with A, go to B, then D. Similarly, don't start with C, okay? You should not start with C because here we started with angle 1, yes? So here you start with 1, then go to C. We stopped at D, yes? So similarly, come and stop at D. So A, B, D, E, C, D. You have to write down this explanation in the right side with the pencil for your understanding purpose. Therefore, triangle ABD similar to triangle ECD by AA similarity. Write down the explanation. You have to write the explanation with the help of a pencil. Don't write with a pen. They have given the step directly, so just I have explained to you how we get that step. In triangle ABD and triangle ECD, Angle A is equal to angle E, which is 1. Okay, both the angles have the measure 1. Then angle D is equal to angle D. So both triangles have the same angle. So you can take it as common. So we say that triangle ABD is similar to triangle ECD by AA similarity. D. Okay, children? So I'll just put here AA similarity. So if the triangles are similar, we can write the proportional sides. So let us write the proportional sides. It's AB upon EC. The first two. AB upon EC is equal to the second third and the second third. That is BD upon CD. So here they have just taken two proportional sides. So let us take only two proportional sides. We can have one more proportional side. But in the theorem, I think these two sides are enough. Two ratios are enough. So AB upon EC is equal to BD upon CD. These are the corresponding sides. Have you taken down this point, children? So we are just going to complete our theorem. We have just one more statement. With one more statement, we will be we'll be just completing our theorem. Have you taken down this point? Okay, let's go for the last statement. I'll be just continuing the last statement over there, children. If I write over here, will you be able to see? I don't think so. Okay, I'll just continue over here. I'll just put here 4. What are the 4 statements? So what are you going to do is, you're just going to interchange this EC. See here, children, what we have got here. What is EC and CE are same, yes? So what is the value for CE? It is AC, yes? Just write down here. Just replace this EC. That's all. The 4th statement is, just change CE as AC. So put here, AB upon AC is equal to BD upon CD. Since AC is equal to CE. That's all finished. So write down here, hence proved. That's done. Hence proved. And on the 4th, complete the. Have you taken down this explanation part, children? The pencil, okay? Okay. Let us have a small recap of the theorem. What was the statement, children? Let us say the statement. Sometimes they may just give you the statement and they will ask you, just explain the statement. So they will be not giving you the name of the statement. In some cases, they will say, state and prove angle bisector theorem. In some cases, they will just say, give the statement and they will ask you to prove the statement. So you should be thorough with the statement so that you can identify what theorem it is. Okay. So you may have two ways of question. The first type of question will be state and prove angle bisector theorem. So you can write the statement, you can write on the proof part and so on. But sometimes the question will be directly the statement. They will be not mentioning the name of the theorem. You will be given a statement. Okay, so the internal bisector of an angle of a triangle divides the opposite side internally in the ratio of the corresponding side containing the, what is that? Containing this angle. Prove it. So you have to go on proving. So you have to just read the statement carefully. You have to identify, okay, this is a angle bisector theorem. So this is the figure for it. This is the proof part for it. The given part. This is the to prove part and so on. Getting my point, children? Let us have a recap of our angle bisector theorem. So first of all, we started with the name of the theorem. What was the name of the theorem? Angle bisector theorem. Then what we did? We wrote the statement. What was the statement, children? The statement was, The internal bisector of an angle of a triangle. What is that? Remember, first statement. Just read the statement part by part. Just do not go on read the statement. Read it fully. You will be not able to understand the statement. Understand the statement. The internal bisector of an angle of a triangle. Okay. Divides. What is it? What is the internal bisector doing? It divides what? It divides the opposite sides. Yes. Internally in the ratio. Internally in the ratio. So it is going to divide internally in the ratio. That means AD divides BC in the form of ratio. So how are you going to write down that? BD upon CD. A of the corresponding side containing the angle. So ratio of what? This internal bisector is going to divide the opposite side in the ratio of the corresponding sides containing the angle. So this is equal to the sides containing the angle, that is AB upon AC, because you are going to focus on which angle? You are going to focus on angle A, because here only you are having an internal bisector. So focus on angle A. So which are the sides containing angle A? You have AB and you have AC. So what you are going to prove? You are going to prove AB. See, this is AB upon AC is equal to the opposite side. What are the opposite sides here? BD upon CD. This is what you have to prove. This is the important thing, and we have to use this application for our sums. Okay, children? So AB upon AC is equal to BD on CD. This is the construction work. So we are not going to focus on that construction. We are just doing the construction to get the answer part. Okay, children. So what will be the theorem? AB upon AC. That is the sides containing the angle. And what is this? BD upon CD. This is the ratio that you get when AD bisects the opposite side. That when AD intersects the opposite sides. So this is what we have to prove. Okay. So what was the statement, children? Statement was angle AEC is equal to BAE. Again, without the figure, we just cannot go with the theorem. Yes. So this was A, B, C, D, E. Just remember, very simple thing. Just see the Z shape. So first of all, just think of the Z shape. This is a Z shape. See, very clearly the Z shape is seen. So you just put here 1, 1 and here also 1. Because AD is the internal bisector, so this part and this part will be same. And since we are taking a Z over here, if this is 1, it will be 1. So what is the angle Z here, children? How you get Z? BAE and AEC. That's the first statement. You can write on the reason. Alternate angles are formed by the transversal. Next. Then what we did? The first thing, we have shown the two angles are equal. Next one, once you show the two angles are equal, see here, from this angle 1, I made this angle 1. So now when I consider this triangle ACE, I have two equal angles. Just see, 1, 1. If you have two equal angles, the opposite side of the angle will be what? Equal. So what I'll get? I'll get AC, that is opposite to 1 is AC, and opposite to this angle 1 is CE. So AC is equal to CE. This is by isosceles triangle theorem. And now the next thing what we do is, we have to show that ABD, triangle ABD is similar to ECD. Children, very, very important thing, you have to choose the triangle in a proper direction. So ABD, I started from 1, so you have to start from 1. So ECD. Then I have already explained to you how we have shown the triangles are similarity by AA. We have A and E to be common, same. Then D is common for both the triangles. So you get the triangle to be similar by AA similarity. Once you show the triangle are similar, you can write the corresponding sides. That is 1 to 1 2. AB upon EC, BD upon CD. Okay, done. So after writing down this, The only thing we change is you're just going to change this EC. What are you going to write down in place of EC? In the previous step, we have written that CE is equal to AC. So in place of EC, you are going to write down AC. That's all. Very simple thing. The fourth step is AB upon AC. That is, just change EC as AC. AB upon AC is equal to BD upon CD. That is what we get from the previous statement. Hence proved. Done. The work is done here, children. Yes. Have you completed the theorem? I hope you people are clear with the theorem. Okay, good. Now, let's go for the homework part. Write down the homework. So, what will be your homework here is, your homework is write the theorem. Okay, first, ABT. I'm just writing the short form for it. Angle bisector theorem. So, you are going to write down the angle bisector theorem first. Okay. First time, you will be just writing down for the homework part. This is your homework. Now, what are you going to do now? You're going to take a paper. Just take a separate sheet of paper. Just take a paper. You have to close all your books. Prepare. I have explained to you, and now you have written one time. Already you have written one time in your classwork. Okay, so two times you have written. You have just understood the theorem. Yes. So now you have to close all your books, and you are going to write a test on the theorem. So you have to take a paper. Be true to yourself. Do not open any books. Just be true. Okay, whatever you have understood, whatever you have written, just put it in your paper, and the second time will be a test for you. You getting my point? One time you are going to write down as a homework. One time theorem will be a homework, and the second time you are going to write down in a paper. Okay, you are going to write down in a paper. You write down the name of the theorem, write down the statement, draw the figure, then write down the given part. It is under proof. Yes, given, what to prove, go for the construction. Then you have to draw the columns, write down all the statements. Then you have to just take a snap. Okay, just take a photo of the homework as well as the test and send to me for correction. I'll be correcting your test also. Getting my point, children? But one thing, you are just going to be true to yourself. You're not going to copy. There is no use of copying. Actually, this is just testing yourself. You're just going to test yourself whether you have understood the theorem or not. Getting my point, children? Okay. I hope we have completed the theorem. Was it clear to you, children? Now let's come back to our exercise. Write down sum number 8. Take down sum number 8. So we have completed till question number 7, yes? So till question number 7, it was based on Thales theorem. So from sum number 8, it will be based on angle bisector theorem. So whatever theorem we have studied over here, we have to apply in sum number 8 and we have to get the answer. So take down sum number 8, children. Write down the question. In triangle ABC, AD is the bisector of angle A meeting side BC at D. If AB is 10 centimeter, AC is 14 centimeter, and BC is 6 centimeter, find BD and DC. These are all the important questions. We may have such type of questions for 2 marks. Okay, children? So these are 2-mark questions. Get on the questions. In triangle ABC, AD is the bisector of angle A meeting side BC at D. If AB is 10 centimeter, AC is 14 centimeter, and BC is 6 centimeter, find BD and DC. Okay, so one time homework, one time test. ABT means angle bisector theorem. Don't ask what is ABT. Angle bisector theorem. Okay, I hope you are ready with the question. Shall we draw the figure? So first of all, you have to draw a triangle ABC. In triangle ABC. Let's draw a triangle ABC. Come on, you have to use your pencil and scale, children. Draw a triangle ABC. Come on to it. Okay, done? Okay, let's go for the next thing. So what else they have given to you? In triangle ABC, AD is the bisector of angle A. AD is the bisector. Okay, so AD is the bisector meeting BC. So where is this bisector meeting? The bisector is meeting BC at which point? Meeting at D. So you have to just draw a line. Just draw a straight line. Put it D. AD is the bisector which meets BC at D. They have given some measurements. AB is 10 centimeter. Okay. And they have given AC. Yes. AC is 14 centimeter. This is given to us. And also they have given BC. Yeah. So whole BC is given to you as 6 centimeter. The question is to find BD and the question is to find DC. So we have to find out BD and DC. BD and DC. This is what we have to find. Okay, children. Shall we start with the sum? Are you ready with the figure? So first of all, we cannot find two unknown things, children. So what I do is, I take BD as X. I'm going to take BD as X. So if BD is X, what will be the measure of CD, children? Already we have done this type of sum in this lesson only, yes, children? So from 6 centimeter, the whole BC is 6 centimeter. From 6 centimeter, the BD measures X centimeter. So if BD measures X centimeter, what will be the measure for DC? It will be 6 minus X. From 6, you are going to remove X. See, BC, this is BC and this is 6, okay? This is whole measurement is 6 centimeter. From this 6, you are going to say that this is X. So if I remove X, what I'm going to do? I'm going to remove X. So I get DC. So how I get DC? From 6, I have removed X. Removed means minus X. 6 minus X. Okay. Now here, since we have a internal bisector, we are going to use ABT. That is angle bisector theorem. Right? By angle bisector theorem. For Thales theorem, we wrote BPT. Do you remember that? Basic proportionality theorem. Similarly here, angle bisector theorem, you can write the short form. ABT. Okay, what do I get by ABT? The sides containing the angle. What are the sides containing the angle? Yes, because A is the internal bisector. Yes. So AB upon AC. First of all, sides containing the angle. AB upon AC. Write down here. AB upon AC. Okay. I have taken the first ratio. Now one more ratio I have to find out. I have to see the opposite side. So which is the opposite side here? BD. This BC is the opposite side. So what I get here? BD on CD or DC. One and the same. I'll put here BD on CD. So what is the theorem? From theorem what you get? AB upon AC is equal to BD upon CD or BD upon DC. One and the same. Now, I'm just going to substitute the values that I know over here. So let's put the value. AB is 10. What is AC? 14. What is BD? X. What is CD? 6 minus X. Okay. We can have some simplifications. 2 5s are 2 7s are. So 5 upon 7 is equal to X upon 6 minus X. So what do you get? 5 upon 7 is equal to X upon 6 minus X. Let's cross multiply. Very simple thing. You have to just cross multiply. So what do you get here? 5 into 6 minus X is equal to 7X. Very simple thing. 5 into, use a bracket here. 5 into 6 minus X is equal to 7X. Open the bracket. 5 into 6, 30. Minus 5X is equal to 7X. 5 into X, 5X, you have to have a minus sign. So take this minus 5X to this side. So minus 5X, when it goes to the RHS, it will become plus 5X. So therefore, 30 is equal to 7x plus 5x. 30 is equal to 12x. What do you get? 30 is equal to 12x. Therefore, x is equal to 30 upon 12. Very simple. The 12 goes to this side. Okay, so it's in a form of multiplication. So you're shifting a multiplication from RHS to LHS. So multiplication will change into division. Try to do the simplification. 3 4s are, or I'll just go with 2, that will be easy. 2 6s are, 2 15s are, 3 2s are, 3 2s are, 3 5s are. We can do by 3 table, we can do by 6 table. 6 table will be direct, yes. 6 2s are 12, 6 5s are 30. So I get 5 upon 2. You know the half of 5. What is half of 5? 2.5 centimeter. I get the value for x. What is the value for x? It's 2.5. That is, I got the value for BD. So what is the value for BD? 2.5 centimeter. I have won the value for DC also. How to find DC? 6 minus x. So write down here, therefore, BD is equal to 2.5 centimeter. I have to find out DC. So DC is equal to 6 minus 2.5, which is equal to, find DC children, 6.0 minus 2.5, 5, 3.5. This is 3.5 centimeters. This is the answer. So we have found, this is a 2-mark question children. This they have asked this question many times. BD is 2.5 and DC is 3.5 centimeters. So we have found sum number 8. So we have completed our question number 8. So we have one more thing. You have to complete sum number 9 as homework. Okay. From exercise 4.2, sum number 9 will be your homework. In sum number 9, you have 2 subparts. Just see here children. They have given you to check. Okay. Check whether AD is bisector of angle A of triangle ABC in each of the following. So they are asking you. They are instead of giving as an internal bisector, here they have, the question is, check whether AD is the bisector of A, and they have given you all the values. Okay. So for a triangle ABC, so I just give you a hint how to do. So first of all, you draw a triangle. Okay. ABC. For both the part, you draw the triangle. Now what is given to you? AB is 5. AC is 10. This is given to you. They are asking you to check whether AD is a bisector of angle A. And they have also given you the measurement of BD. And DC is also given to you as 3.5. Very simple thing. What you are going to do here, you have to first of all find AB upon AC. The sides containing the angle. What are the sides containing the angle? A is there asking you, check for angle A. So you have to take the side containing the angle. So you have to check for AB upon AC. So write down the value, find out the answer. Okay. Now you have to take the opposite side. What is the opposite side here? What is the part that you get? You get BD upon CD. So you have to find BD upon CD. You know all the values. Okay, substitute the values, get the answer, substitute the values and get the answer. If you get the same answer, if you get AB upon AC is equal to BD upon CD, you say that AD is the internal bisector. Yes, AD is the bisector of angle A. If the ratios are not equal, you say it is not the bisector. Very simple thing. You have to just find out the ratio and get the answer. Okay, children, try out sum number 9. You have 2 subparts in sum number 9. So what was the homework for today? You have to write the theorem once in your homework as your homework. Then you have to write on the theorem once as your test. You are going to close all your books and you are going to write on this test part in a separate paper. Okay, children? You have to write down as a test. You be true to yourself. I have told you, you have to be true to yourself, because I just cannot see you that when you're writing. So you have to be true that, okay, I am writing the test. Next, you have to complete sum number 9 from exercise 4.2. We have some more sums which will be done in the next class.